Hi, everyone. I'm live. Hi, Bumblebee. Hi, Diane. Welcome, anybody that's in here also. Yeah, I just made the worst supper. I watched somebody on YouTube yesterday make chicken and dumplings, and it looked so good. So I thought, well, I had this rotisserie chicken that I'd gotten, and most of it was gone, but I still had the everything, the bones and everything left in the refrigerator. So I just threw it in a pot with some water and some chicken broth and boiled it and got some chicken broth. But then I thought, well, I'm going to try just to put some dumplings, some thickening and some dumplings in here. Well, I didn't, of course, write down this girl's recipe for her dumplings. So I just thought, I'm just going to use some Bisquick, mix up some Bisquick and throw it in. Well, it was awful. Awful. Uh, they were like dense noodles, and they didn't taste like they were done. So I ended up plucking them out and throwing them in the garbage. And then I thought, well, I'll make the rest of this because I did only half the recipe of Bisquick. So I put the rest of them and made biscuits in the oven, and I cooked them too long, and they're like hard as a rock. I could kill somebody with these. So they're gonna go. What I did was crumble some up in my chicken's greens that I just took out. They'll eat. They'll eat anything. So yeah, that was a flub. Well, today was the day I took both of my animals. This is Shirley, anyway, by the way. This is Shirley from Shirley's World. Uh, I'm in my 80s. I have a square acre here in the sort of country. And I have chickens. I used to have horses. I have a dog and a cat. And yeah, so this is my life, trying to stay upright enough to stay in my house. That is my main goal. And to sell on eBay and Poshmark and make some extra money because Social Security just ain't making it. It's very expensive to live in this big old 170-year-old house. It is heated by oil, the most expensive type of fuel oil that you can get. Yeah. My fuel oil bill is more than my daughter's house payment. So, yeah. So today I had to take my cat and Penny to the vet. We had a 3:30 appointment. It was pouring down rain all day again today. So of course I got the dog in the car, no problem. And then to get the cat out there, I had to capture her first and then put her in her crate. And she's not a lightweight to begin with, and the crate isn't very light. So I had a terrible time getting her out into the car. So I called them and told them when I get there, they're going to have to help me get these two into the office. So when I got there, I called them, and they came out and they took both of them in, no problem. So I wanted my cat tested for hyperthyroidism. I'm pretty sure she has that. Now there's a slim chance it could be diabetes, which I'm hoping it's not because that's way more expensive to treat. So tomorrow, the vet will call me with the results of the blood work. And then for Penny, Oh, she's still out there. Um, Penny had to have her nails cut, which is always a big to do. And the doc looked at her sore that she's licked a spot on her front leg, and I'm treating it fine. It's just a nervous thing. The doctor thinks it's more of a nerves, and she just licks, and makes a sore spot. So the other thing was to change her medication back to Prozac because she's been on Zoloft. I gave it a good try of over 2 months, and I don't think it helped as much as the Prozac, and it's more expensive. So we're changing her back to Prozac, but you have to wean her off of the Zoloft. Takes 2 weeks. She's on a half a tablet now of Zoloft for 2 weeks, which will make her more nervous. So she'll be coming down off of that, and then I can start the Prozac. So yeah, it's always something. And that little visit for the two of them cost me $319. So that came right out of my eBay money. It has their separate. It has a separate account, so it's for my animals and whatever else extra I need. Yeah, and she's on this expensive food too now. Your dog did that, and we put baby socks on her using Curlix to hold them in place. Well, she's good about keeping her bandage on. I put some Neosporin on and a Telfa pad, and then I wrap her in vet wrap, pink, of course. And she doesn't mess with her bandage. She keeps it on. I keep the bandage on for, I don't know, 8 hours or so, but I don't want to keep it on too long. And, I like the air to get at it. So I just put it on during the day. She had it on when I went away, when I went out for 2 hours, and she didn't try to rip it off. So I think that's for sure one time I will. Of course, she's too busy running from window to window looking for me. Uh, the live stream is acting crazy for me. Oh dear. Well, it looks fine at this end. I'm sorry about that. Uh, you lost a tree across the driveway yesterday in Louisiana storms. We didn't have any bad storms here, but it has just been raining like crazy. It's so muddy out. So every time the dog goes out, she comes in with big muddy paws. Uh, and there's tornadoes coming. Oh dear. Claire, you're having a hard time with your weather. That is scary. I hope you have a good place to go with the tornado warnings. Do you have a good basement to go into? I don't have any. Well, that would drive her nuts to have one of those cone things on. I don't have any of those left anymore. But she keeps the vet wrap on pretty good. So, yeah. And the spray that the doc gave me last time she had this is just gentamicin, but it has something in it that relieves the itch also. So if it's something that's itching, it sort of relieves that. And yeah, she doesn't like me to spray it. So I put it on a pad and wipe it on. And she's okay with it. She's such a little chicken. Uh, yeah, Claire, where did you say you were? Didn't you aren't you in southern? You're someplace south of me, I know. Uh, yeah, I haven't even looked at the map today to see what it's doing. It was warm though. It was 60 degrees here today, but just rain, rain, rain. Yeah. The blood work that Maddie had alone was $160, so that was a big part of it. But I wanted to have that done for sure. We were talking about music last time, so if guitar guy, oh, he's here, guitar guy. We were talking about music. I found some on my CDs. We forgot Stevie Wonder. Yeah, I have a really good album. It's Natural Wonders album. It's 2 CDs. And Jimmy Buffett, one of my favorites. Jimmy Buffett, the Beach Boys, and the Bee Gees. Those were all my favorite Florida music when we were down in Florida. I'd have this playing in my ear all the time. I love Jimmy Buffett. I was so sorry when he died. Yeah. And a long time ago, this was back in skiing time, I love John Denver. Yeah. I saw John Denver in live once. And who else did I see? Oh, not Flink Floyd, not Pink Floyd, but it'll come to me sooner or later. And I didn't mention Michael Jackson. I love to watch Michael Jackson. I still do. If they have old things of him dancing and his music, I still watch it all the time. I don't know what anybody thinks about him, but I think he was one of the best performers ever, ever. Yeah. Mr. Margaritaville. Yeah, it was sad. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac. That's it. We saw Fleetwood Mac live too. Yeah, I loved their music. Uh, yeah, there was no other performer that quite. Was a lot of people that copied Michael Jackson's way of performing, even his sister, but nobody came up to Michael Jackson as far as his performing. And yeah, that's another one you can't sit still and listen to his music. There was a recent thing on YouTube about when they made that music about the children. What was it? Save the Children or Save the World. And they brought all these famous singers, all these famous musicians together. Did anybody see that? We Are the World, yes. Did you see that? That was a wonderful show. Had so many people came back for that. Yeah. Yeah, that was great. Oh, Bumblebee Misses. They'll probably have it on again sometime. Jackie C's here. Hi. Yeah, We Are the World. That was it. Uh, Ryland Farm, did your video straighten out now? I had a dog that did this, licked and licked their paws, and I tried that baby socks, but that dog kept ripping all bandages off. So he would never keep those socks on. Yeah, we tried that one time. This time I just did the vet wrap. Ah, oh, good. Okay. Well, I have a whole sink load of dishes. I am the messiest cook, and it came out like it was horrible. No matter what I make more dishes and use more silverware and more. There's nothing left in my cupboard. It's all in my sink. Now I have to go out and clean all that up. No sales today. No, but I did go on. I have to admit, I didn't bring back best offer, except I went through all my things and I did pick and choose, and I put certain things back on best offer, which were things like ties. I just want to get rid of them. I have so many. I put all the ties. I put the rest of the baseball caps and things that nobody were interested anymore. I did sell some when I first got them in the beginning, but these have been sitting forever. So I put them. I put certain t-shirts on, and what else? A few things that I know I've had for years. I put I put best offer back on them. But it's very few. It's not many. I bet it's probably under 100 things I put it back on, or maybe 150 with the ties. Yeah, but soon I'm going to be taking off uh, and getting rid of the rest of my hard goods and the books and the CDs and things I have left in there. None of it has had any interest in years. The books I'll keep, and yeah, the rest is going. So, yes, what is anybody else? How are sales doing with everybody else? Because mine, unfortunately, are in the dumper at the moment. Yes, no sales today. Now, yesterday I had one on. Yesterday I had one on eBay and one on Poshmark. So I've had a few on Poshmark this week, but hardly anything on eBay. But I can't blame it all on taking best offer off, because I don't have any inventory to list. So tomorrow, hopefully, I will feel good enough to go thrifting. It's Kiki's having awful sales there too. Classy Dahlia, none for 2 days. I know, that's so disturbing, isn't it? I had it go 4 days one time, and that's before I took best offer off. That was I don't know, a month or so ago. 4 days. I thought something was wrong. You had no sales today, none yesterday. Very busy over last weekend. So it's up and down, yeah. It's just strange. Mm. You always take it so personally. Me too. I don't know why, but the sales I have had that have not been, of course, not best offers. They have been regular sales. I've been really happy with. So I'm sort of trying to just go with the flow. Yeah. But I do have to go thrifting. I need I was never a person that had a huge death pile of things that you could fall back on. I never did. I always went thrifting and then I'd list everything that I thrifted, and then I had nothing to fall back on. Unlike like Becky Park, who has tons of stuff, uh, she doesn't have to worry about running out of things. And I'm sure there's lots of other people like that, but I wasn't one of them. Uh, it's probably better to have sort of a, it's, maybe I should go shopping a whole bunch. If I could only do that. My body just doesn't want to cooperate. Uh, little trips, little trips every day. Or the trouble is, I hate to leave the dog every single day. Of course, who knows? Maybe that would be better for her. Maybe that would get her more used to me going out a little bit every day. You got a $15 offer on $40. I know, doesn't that kill you? I hate that. That's why I took it off. Bryland Farm says her entire house is a death pile, and you have no kids to leave it to. Well, my kids don't want it. Kids don't want your old stuff anymore. It's not like before. You know, in my generation, my parents and my grandparents, we wanted their stuff. We wanted things to be handed down to us, generation to generation. They don't want that anymore. They do not want your old stuff. Mm. Oh, yeah. I talked to Judy, my friend from the barn. She had to move to a smaller apartment. And of course, she has tons of stuff. When she moved out of her big house, I bought a lot of her stuff, and then she gave me a lot of stuff. So that's the one time I did have sort of a little pile for a short time. But that's all gone. And yeah, you have a 300 plus death pile. Oh my. Well, you're set. Are you still shopping too? If somebody with that much of a death pile, you must like to shop, so that's hard to stop then. But I don't know. I must not have liked to shop as much as I thought I remember that I did. Uh, absolutely, yeah. Oh dear. Well, I am. I really am planning on getting up early tomorrow and going to Goodwill. It's Friday, and it's the half off when they put the new half off tags on. So if you get there early enough, you get to see those first, which what things are half price. And they're still bringing out new things, so you get to look at two things. What keeps me there longer than I should stay is unless I get a certain amount of things, I can't use my 35% off coupon. And then that makes things cost more than I want to pay for them, more than my business model, which I really never made one. Uh, Guitar Guy says, Classic Dahlia and I both have our own death piles separately. You met at Goodwill, and now we have one huge death pile together. Oh my. You're like Lavender Clothesline and her husband. They met at Goodwill. Tomorrow you're going to a church rummage sale. They're the best. You know, I've been sort of watching on our little paper we get once in a while, and I haven't seen any going on. You know, I used to love to go to estate sales and garage sales, but I found that now the last time my sister was here, we went together. I used to love them too, but they're not as much fun if you don't have somebody to go with. Oh, you loved Lavender Clothesline. You watch them too. Yeah. Yeah, they're really something. We live right in the middle between me, you, and Karen. Lavender, isn't she from Pennsylvania? I think. Isn't Lavender Clothesline in Pennsylvania? Yes, yes, I thought so. Hmm. You're in Western PA. Okay. Well, you're probably south. Oh, you're closer to Pittsburgh. Well, I know all those areas well. Because, well, Pittsburgh. One of my my nephew went to Pittsburgh. Who else went to Pittsburgh for college? And my mother, when she was young, this is before she met my father, she worked in Harrisburg. She worked in the State Department, in the state capitol as a secretary. Oh, Guitar Guy, you graduated from Pitt. Yeah. You guys probably like those bad Steelers too. Oh. Yeah, I'm in Browns territory here. Yeah, my mother was actually married before she met my father. She was married and he died of, what was it? Some lung cancer thing. Very young. Yeah, they were only married a short time. But that was way back when they didn't have treatments as good as now. Which is good for me because unless my mother and father got together, there wouldn't be any me or my sister. Ah. Oh, you were in Erie for a while, so I thought you may have been new. No, no. No, even my sister's husband from Erie, he was always a Browns fan. Yeah. He would get so mad at the Browns because they had many years that they sort of stunk. Mm. No, we were Cleveland Indians, which I still call them the Indians, sorry, and the Browns fans. My husband Jack was he bet on sports all the time. And now my son, since it's easy to do nowadays, uh, my son does too now. But yeah, we had sports going on the TV all the time. He bet on every sport except baseball. For some reason, evidently, baseball isn't a good one to bet on. The way he bet it, anyway. Eerie, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Oh, well, it's not brown season right now. It's Indian season. Yeah, the home opener was just this past week, which I watched. They're doing really well so far. Well, of course, I left it out in the family room. I had a list of things that I could make YouTube videos about. Here's part of it. And I thought I'd run it past you and see what you thought. Of course, nursing stories, we already know that. And what I know about old homes, we do the chickens, gardens, that'll be coming up. And growing up in the 40s, uh, and herbs. When we had, that's some other pictures I'll have to get together. When I had my first real by myself, or my husband and I had our own little house as an antique shop in Avon, Ohio. Uh, we had an herb I made, he didn't. I made an herb garden all in front of the house. So the people had to walk up the little stone path and into the antique shop, but it was all surrounded by it was all herb gardens. And I learned so much about herbs back then. Now I'm sure the information's all in here somewhere, but I'm going to sort of re-educate myself and talk sometime about herbs. What made me think about it is I walked out front, and growing under one of my lace hydrangea bushes, which is huge, is this beautiful, it looks like a ground cover. So I took a picture of it with Snap This. I have one of those things on my phone where you can just take a picture of it and it immediately tells you what the plant is or what the flower is. and it's garlic mustard. So I looked all about it, and yes, every part of that plant is usable. So, yeah, so interesting. So many herbs are so interesting. And that's on the whole one side of my path out front. I'm going to make all all herbs. Now they have to be in sun. So most of that is in sun. And already my lemon balm is coming up. It's already doing quite well out there. But that's the only thing I see so far as herbs go. But now these are things I plant, not the lemon balm. I've had that for a while. But things that I planted in those jugs last year, the flowers, the two that are doing the best out there, because I planted perennials, are lupine. They are beautiful out there already. The leaves. I have like 4 big plants out there. And my foxglove. Thank goodness my foxglove are coming. You have elephant ears in pots in the summer. Wow, they get pretty large, don't they? Uh, yes. Last year I didn't fill the pots going up my steps to my front door, but this time I will because I am going as soon as the weather breaks after May 15th. I'm going to the garden center and I will take you with me. And I am going to spend a lot of money in the garden center like I used to. Uh, we ended up closing the antique store because it was in Avon and it's a long drive from Medina to Avon. It was just the distance. That's why we closed it. It was just too far to go every day because I had to go every day. Uh, you'll be planning for the first time in your new place. Do you have all your gardens drawn out? When we moved here, I'd guard before we ever even moved in. I had gardens all drew out on paper. You love flowers and landscaping. Me too. Uh, I would like to put big pots on my deck, except for one thing. At night, the dog goes out on a rope. And all she has to do is get her rope around one of those pots, and she'd just knock it right down off the deck onto the ground. Or she'd get all wrapped around it. So I have to figure out some way to do that. Uh, yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of different. When you say elephant ears, maybe I'm thinking of something different because I'm thinking about those huge things that are like, they get 8, 10 feet high. Maybe it's something different. Maybe that's a different name. I thought it was elephant ears. Uh, Sometimes I would go to the garden center in the middle of winter. There was one garden center that had huge greenhouses where they would plant, and you could go in there and it'd be all nice and warm, and the smell of dirt, and It was just someplace I went for my mental health in the middle of winter. Yeah, they were open all year round so that you could do that. Now, this garden center that's close to me, I don't know if they're open all winter or not, but I'm sure they're open now. You have it drawn out in your mind, yeah. Talk about expensive. Flowers and plants are crazy high. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Uh, well, that store that I told you in town, Marks, where you can go and it's sort of they have groceries, but they have other things too. And they always get, uh, in the spring, they'll get a big supply from a grower. And you can tell when it comes in because it's all outside. And that's where you can get inexpensive annuals. So that's where I try to get annuals from. But yeah. Yeah, seeds are cheap and fun to grow. Yes. If you have a long growing season, right. Well, as soon as I can get some stuff in the ground, I'm going to be planting. However, some of the things that didn't do well as seeds, I'm going to just go ahead and buy the plants, vegetable plants. I don't think they'll go. Do you think they'll go up much in price? I know flowers always do, especially perennials. Craigslist has ads for the church sales and yard sales too. Oh, that's a good idea. I never thought of looking there. Good idea. Yeah, so this is a time that everybody's anxious now to get out and do something. My dogwood's big buds on it. My holly has flowers on it already, and as soon as those get a little bit bigger, they smell wonderful. So I will be taking pictures. In fact, I did take some pictures the other day out there, and it was just my normal everyday spring pictures. I take the same pictures every spring. Probably can't see. This is a dumb way of showing it, but these are it doesn't even show right. These are the flowers on the holly. I'm trying to make it so it doesn't have such a reflection. I could probably put my photo thing up there and share my screen. But my azalea is in full bloom. That's the color of my azalea, that pinky purple color. Yeah, I think I did take a picture of the garlic mustard, maybe. Or maybe I didn't. Oh, I'm not on StreamYard, so I can't share my screen. Or at least I haven't found out that you can on this, because I'm right on YouTube Studio here. Well, next time I'm on StreamYard, maybe tomorrow I'll come on StreamYard and see if I can share my photos. All right, I'm going to close and I'm going to go on Craigslist and see if they list church sales because that would be great. They're the best. Mr. Bumblebee wants to know if your lemon balm takes over. No, mine has stayed. My lemon balm has stayed in a plant. It always has. It never was like peppermint or spearmint, which, boy, am I sorry I planted that. That was a long time ago. I'm still pulling it out. I let it have its own little space, but I'm pulling it out of every place else. Yeah, you can't contain that stuff. But lemon balm never did that to me. It's always stayed in a compact, nice bush, little, you know. Yes, I've made tea with lemon balm. It's good. Or you can just use it with your other tea. I've dried it. I picked it and put it in the nesting boxes of the chickens. It keeps bugs out. Anything spearmint, the spearmint and peppermint plants and lemon balm, and there's a number of other herbs that you can just make a bunch of and just put it into the chickens' nesting boxes, and it keeps bugs out of there. Yes, my this will be the year it blooms because I planted it last year. It's a biennial, and it'll bloom this year. And the plants look really good out there. I wish it would stop raining. I'd go take some more pictures. I think I did take some pictures of it. So I'll close for now, and I will be back on tomorrow evening. Let's hope I get a sale or two before then. Making potato salad and brats. Sounds good. Sounds better than what I had. I had my chicken trying to be chicken broth, thickened chicken broth. I'll have to think of something else to eat because I'm already hungry. Good night, God bless. Hope you. Yes, I do too. I hope I get some sales. At least at one or two, to put in the bin. I hate to have nothing in the bin for the postman to come because he comes all the way to the back to pick it up, and I have to put a little sign in there, you know, sorry, no sale, no packages, no sales, and a little frowny face. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye.